types of reproduction. Broadly, reproduction can be distinguished into two types. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Most of the lower group of organisms exhibit asexual reproduction, and higher groups of organisms mainly exhibit sexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? It is a type of reproduction where there is no formation of special cells. Asexual reproduction, it is a type of reproduction where there is no formation of special cells. And number two, this is uniparental. In what is uniparental? Only one parent organism is sufficient for completing asexual reproduction. So it is uniparental and there are no special cells formed, then it is called asexual reproduction. What is then sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction is that process where there is formation of special cells. Formation of special cells. So here there is formation of special cells, and these special cells are called gametes. Number two, sexual reproduction is biparental. It means for sexual reproduction to take place, two parent organisms, or in the same parent organism, two parental units, male and female, become necessary. So these are the two main types of reproduction: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. We will now move on to the types of asexual reproduction. There are no special cells formed here, and only one parent organism is sufficient. Therefore, asexual reproduction is of different types. One type of asexual reproduction is called fission. Fission is a type of asexual reproduction that occurs in several unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms, you know, they contain only one cell in their body. So fission is a process by which the body cell representing the parent organism body cell representing the parent organism divides into two cells or more than two cells. Accordingly, in fission, there are two possibilities. One is called binary fission, where the parent cell just divides into two daughter cells. Parent cell forms two daughter cells. The other possibility is parent cell forming more than two daughter cells. Multiple fission. So in multiple fission, more than two daughter cells are formed. When we say more than two daughter cells are formed, it can be any number. Hundreds of cells also can be formed. Binary fission is observed in examples like bacteria, amoeba, unicellular animal, euglena, another unicellular organism, paramecium, another unicellular protozoan animal. In binary fission, when the cell divides into two daughter cells, there are two possibilities. The division of the parent cell into two daughter cells may happen along the transverse plane or along the longitudinal plane. So we have transverse binary fission and longitudinal binary fission. Transverse binary fission, for example, is observed in bacteria, amoeba and paramecium. Longitudinal binary fission is observed in euglena. In multiple fission, the parent cell splits into several daughter cells and each one of them grow into new individuals. This type of reproduction is observed in Plasmodium, a protozoan parasite which causes malaria. In Plasmodium, large number of individuals can be formed from the parent cell. Another type of asexual reproduction is called budding. Budding is a process where the parent body develops a small projection called bud. This bud gradually grows, becomes an adult individual, separates from the parent and leads an independent existence. Budding can be seen both in unicellular and multicellular organisms. Another type of asexual reproduction is called budding. Budding is a process where the parent body produces a small projection called bud. The bud gradually develops the necessary structures, grows into an adult, gets separated from the parent and leads an independent existence. Bud can be formed both in unicellular organisms and in multicellular organisms. For example, budding is observed in some bacteria. Budding is observed in yeast. Yeast is a unicellular fungus. In multicellular organisms, budding is observed in sponges and coelentrates like hydra. Both in sponges and hydra, the parent body develops a bud. The bud grows into an adult, gets separated and starts leading an independent existence. Now in both these examples, unicellular as well as multicellular examples that we have seen, budding takes place outside the body. Formation of buds takes place outside the body. Therefore, this process is known as exogenous budding. Exogenous budding. There is a process involving the formation of internal buds. Buds may be formed inside the body also. Internal buds. This is called endogenous budding. Endogenous budding, internal buds are observed in freshwater sponges. Freshwater sponges face a situation where the pond may become dry. Therefore, to tide over such unfavorable conditions, they produce internal buds. These internal buds are called gemmules. Gemmules remain viable throughout the unfavorable conditions. When the conditions become favorable, the gemmules germinate into new individuals. Another type of asexual reproduction is called Strobel Ization. Strobel Ization. Strobel Ization is a process which involves the formation of ring-like structures. The formation of ring-like structures, each of which grow into new individuals. Strobel Ization is observed in coelentrates like Aurelia. Another type of asexual reproduction is the formation of Gemma cups. In plants like Marsilia, the parent plant develops cup-shaped structures called Gemma cups. These Gemma cups gradually develop into new individuals. Another type of asexual reproduction involves the formation of Gemma cups. Gemma cups are formed in some bryophytes. In bryophytes like Mercantia, the plant body develops multicellular buds. These multicellular buds are called gemmae. They are found in receptacles called Gemma cups. When the conditions are favorable, these gemmae can develop into new plants. One more type of asexual reproduction is called fragmentation. Fragmentation is observed in multicellular plants and animals. What happens here is body of the parent organism breaks into pieces called fragments. It may be two, it may be more than two fragments. Each of these fragments then develop into new individuals. Classical examples for fragmentation can be seen in filamentous algae. For example, you have heard of examples like Spirogyra, Cara. In such algae, the filament breaks into several fragments, and each fragment develops into a new plant body. Fragmentation is also observed in animals, particularly in flatworms. The best example for fragmentation is observed in a flatworm called planaria, where the body breaks into 2 or 3 pieces. Each piece, called fragment, develops into a new individual. What is interesting in planaria is that there is a very clear polarity that is observed during fragmentation. For example, this is a planaria. Suppose this planaria breaks into 3 fragments, or if it is cut into 3 fragments accidentally or otherwise, you get 3 pieces. This will be one piece, this will be another piece, this will be one more piece. This piece has a head end, so it develops a tail end. This piece has a tail end, so it develops a head end. Whereas this piece lacks both the head end and the tail end. It develops a head end only at this region and a tail end only at this region. This is because of the existence of a phenomenon called polarity. Another example of asexual reproduction is a process called regeneration. Generally, regeneration is defined as the capacity of an organism to develop the lost parts of the body. Parts may be lost during a fight, or accidentally, or by any other means. So the lost parts of the body grow again. Many a times, regeneration may result in the formation of new individuals. For example, in hydra, if a hydra is cut into 2 or 3 pieces, each piece can develop into a new hydra. In echinoderms, a starfish may lose one of its arms, may grow into a new one. And in brittle star, each arm may get separate and each arm may develop into a new individual. Similar capacity is observed in earthworms living in soil. During plowing, many a times earthworms get cut into pieces, and each of these pieces can regenerate into new worms. In the house lizard, there is an interesting phenomenon of regeneration. It is called autotomy. When a wall lizard is likely to be attacked by its enemy, it cuts off its own tail and runs away. The tail will be waggling for some time, which baffles the attacking animal, so the attacking animal runs away. But later, the lizard develops a new tail. This is called autotomy, self-regeneration. So far we have seen different types of asexual reproduction. In addition to all this, in plants, we have another type of asexual reproduction. It is known as vegetative reproduction. Reproduction by the body, plant body itself. It is also a special type of asexual reproduction. We will go into more details about this.